Cast. Well, let's get you our weekly feature, which is Transformers. And despite the negative sentiment hovering on Kenya over graft and a food shortage, some investors remain bullish that Kenya is still the place to invest. Swedish-based car manufacturer Volvo is set to construct a 2.5 billion assembly plant in Mombasa. The move is a series of investments at boosting the company's presence in the region. And as the Swedes declared their mega investments in Kenya, global machinery manufacturer Mantrac, which holds the Caterpillar dealership, has announced it will be rolling out new models as they target the astronomical growth in Kenya's construction sector. Here's more.
Kenya has been a beehive of activity, with the political class running the show, literally. But beneath the political rhetoric, investors remain focused on setting up shop in Kenya, exuding confidence of an economy that is worth investing in.
You know, Africa is really important, as you all know very well.
Speaking at an investors' cocktail in Nairobi's capital, Mantrac's group president Rob Charter acknowledged that Africa has a large growth potential and has the fastest growing middle class worldwide, with the population expected to double by 2050, hence immense business prospects.
We're very committed to Africa. We actually recently, I think it was earlier this year, made a commitment with our dealers and the CAT Foundation to invest $1 billion in Africa between 2017 and 2021.
The firm is betting big on Kenya and South Africa as bright spots in the region. The firm plans to launch more heavy-duty construction machinery, such as the new 426F backhoe loader sourced from India. As Mantrac declared their desire to expand their footprint in Kenya, Swedish truck manufacturer Volvo has come knocking as well. According to Bloomberg News, the truck maker of vehicles and construction equipment has agreed to partner with Kenyan car dealer Nest Motors to set up 20 new workshops across the region, a parts warehouse and assembly line for Volvo trucks in Kenya's port city of Mombasa. Volvo trucks are assembled in 15 countries across the globe, and last year, the company sold about 103,000 trucks worldwide. Volvo is only the latest vehicle maker to announce plans in recent months to start assembling locally, following moves by Volkswagen, PSA Peugeot, and CNH industrialist Iveco. Abi Agina, KTN Business.
We are joined by the managing partner for DSPA, which is a company that has launched operations in Kenya also and is looking to tap into an interesting segment of the economy, and that is in regard to devices and just coming up with innovative approaches towards tackling disasters in the country. And I'm now joined by Damien George, the managing partner on my extreme left, and Pius Masai, who is the deputy director for the disaster management unit, to just talk to us about the trends you're seeing when it comes to investments in the country and in the economy. Perhaps, George, we understand that you did launch a new product in the market, but it's not really about launching. It's why Kenya?
Kenya, just like some other African countries, plus what happened last few years back to those terrorists that invaded us here. If you see also the level of fire breakout in buildings and important places for the economy of this country, I thought bringing this technology to Kenya was really going to be helpful, save the nation, then save people's life. And then I think this way you can have Kenya flying now, and they're trying to forget those stories people that do have every single day. That there have been fire breakouts probably in the nearby state house, and the fire engine came a bit late and it came without water. And now we have come up with a solution that I'm thinking is going us to be compatible or move with the flying economy of Kenya.
All right. And George, I'll be coming back to you, but let me bring in Pius. You work a lot in the disaster management sector, and investors have not invested as much as we would want. And perhaps looking at the broader industry, what sort of areas do you think need to define the next level of investment when it comes to this critical area that you do represent?
Actually, Akina, as you're aware that Kenya as a country, we have preparedness plans. And within the preparedness plans, we need to have what we call all hazard planning. Individuals, organizations, learning institutions, companies, banks, offices. You know, Kenya is a place to invest, and everybody is coming to Kenya. I realize that even people working in Kenya, when they retire, they don't go back to their countries because it's a place to invest. And it's important that every individual take responsibility in all hazard planning, identifying hazards and risks associated to issues like fire. Fire destroys our property on daily basis. Reported incidents are too many and unreported are too many. So I advise investors, individuals, organizations, institutions, more so even in learning institutions, there's fire nearly every day, every night or every day. Once you do better investment, you need to have systems in place to deal with hazards. When you identify hazards affecting your business, you need to have plans. And within the plans, you need to have what you call emergency preparedness. Don't just say...
I'm sure, we'll come to that on the emergency.
Yes.
Just hold your thought. And George, I'm keen to know, why is it that investors are still pumping in money in Kenya at a time where we're seeing corruption is at an all-time high? There's a bit of governance issues in the country. Why still invest in Kenya? That is my question.
Let me start with the word corruption. Corruption is not only in Africa, even in Europe, they have corruption. The issue here is what kind or level of corruption in East Africa or in Africa compared to what Europeans or Americans they are fighting for. I think the stability, political stability of this country and the unity of the people of this country is what is pushing every person who is coming here probably for holiday, and then he end up finding that this country is where I think I should come and do business. No, so the fact of Kenya having peace, people are uniting with their leaders. Those corruption issues, they're everywhere, and that can also be solved by having a good political will.
All right. Speaking about political will, do you feel, Pius, that we've been able to put the laying ground, actually have we laid the ground for investors to come and invest, say, in issues to do with disaster management? Because we've seen a number of incidents happen, and it takes time for response units to be there. You either hear that a fire brigade has broken down or a crane is not working. What sort of opportunities are there for investors to invest in disaster-related incidents?
Actually, the government has put systems in place whereby the issues of emergency and disasters, they are on individual basis, there are those national and county government responsibilities. What is important, I advise that people need to be responsible in that they need to develop their own plans addressing the hazards. But what we need, our politicians, they are doing a good work, of course. And right now, we have our DRM bill and policy pending before Parliament. I just request and advise that they need to make it a law so that we can have systems in place, the county government having enough funds maybe saying that they have a % of their budget just for emergencies and disasters. And what is important is that the systems are in place. And I believe before these parliamentarians end their term, they will pass the law. And once the law is passed, it will empower everyone. So it's the individuals, the business community, and every person to be responsible.
All right.
Yeah.
And George, looking forward, now that we are seeing players like you have come into Kenya, what sort of strategy are you having in terms of growing uptake of your product and, of course, just making more people understand it is important to be prepared for any eventuality?
One of the ways is KTN. If you bring in a new product and then you partner with the media in this country, and also by seeing the product here in Kenya, I'm sure it's going to push many people to opt for this new technology. And the people, they should not think that this is for only government buildings or something like this. No, this is also for schools here in Kenya, schools here in East Africa. This is also for the individuals, people owning their own shops. And when the fire disaster comes up, they're always trying to blame probably Pius because it's a guy from the disaster or those people in the fire brigade. But this product that we have here, now it is a solution. This does not need so much energy. It's just a small gadget. If you could see it, it's just a small gadget that is, when it is activated, is going to engulf the entire room.
Yeah.
And if it happens to be like Mr. Pius was forgotten in the building and the DSPA has been activated, we will only ask him to be calm.
All right.
Because in the end, after the activation, the aerosol, that is the technology itself, is going to engulf the room. After less than 60 seconds, no, less than a minute, the fire will be off, Pius is going to be fine, and there will be no need of using water. Because when there's fire, that's a loss. You add water, it's more loss. So that's why you see, when you try to bring the, this product, we had to look for the serious government organs. And then we thought the National Disaster Management Unit are the people talk to, and that they keep preaching and even showing this. And
all right.
And like Tanzania, where also they're using this product, like Rwanda. Now we are talking to the top government officials to allow, apart from the individuals buying this product, but to allow the police patrol vehicles, those, or even on the motorcycles, to have this display, because they are these people that are the first people to arrive on the scenes in case of fire, events.
All right.
So
okay. And Pius, what has been holding back people from investing in issues of disaster management? Is it a question of they feel resources are poorly managed? Is it a question of they don't understand the industry?
No, it's important to put it clear that resources are well managed. What is, has been missing is that, governments have done all possible to ensure that they have fire engines, but they're not adequately addressing issues of fire. They are working towards that, but supporting that, individuals need to do this. Companies like this one coming forward with the products like this one, even you can buy it, put it in a vehicle, a motorcycle, walk with it just in a bag. When there is fire, you use it. So what is important is people need to understand that we cannot have fire engines everywhere. We need people to have technology, issues about technology that can assist, whether standing alone, you are asleep, you are away from your building or your house. When you have got systems that deals with fire, standing alone, they'll ignite automatically, and you'll save your property.
All right.
You see, I'm telling you that we have reports every day, daily basis, that a building has been burned, a house has been burned, an office, name it. But if people can look towards these kind of investors and more investors coming to Kenya with more products of similar nature. You know, it's important that you spend money on securing your property rather than just waiting for it to burn and thereon you complain that you lost. You know, you cannot get the real product even if you get something else will be different. So what is important is to put systems in place. And I thank my colleague here with this team. I believe the Kenyans who are watching, they need to buy such kind of equipment. I saw it working because he did a demonstration.
Yes.
We did it in our company called stakeholders.
He
requested the Inspector General National Police Service, whereby the Inspector General National Police Service directed the Director of National Disaster Management Unit to proceed on and allow the investor to show the product. What we did, we called all the stakeholders who are available by the time they sent representation, and there was a demonstration how the equipment works. There was a structure which was built in our compound headquarters in Embakasi, whereby the fire was lit, and we saw the product extinguishing fire within a minute, which was excellent.
All right.
Sure.
Many thanks, gentlemen. Quite an honor to speak to you on these issues around disaster management, as well as investors still being optimistic that Kenya is the place to invest. We want to wrap up the program now, and just to look at some of the Twitter reactions we are seeing this hour. And today we're asking you, do you think the government's move to cut flour prices to 90 shillings is a sustainable move? That is our Twitter poll this hour. And let's just take a look at what you're saying on social media in regard to this particular topic. And well, tweets still coming through, and we really appreciate and do hope to keep the conversation alive on social media. But let me just get the reactions of the guests, and perhaps Pius, what do you think about the government reducing maize flour prices to 90 shillings?
It is the responsibility of the government to take care of its people. And it's a good move that the government understands people require food. If the prices goes down, it's good for us. The problem is the people who may do contrary and maybe increase prices or do things that may interfere with the manager getting a meal on a table. I thank the government for this move.
All right.
Yes.
And Damien?
I do jump and swim with him. I think the Kenyan government should be thanked because they have shown their responsibility. The rest of the things, they're just previous, but the main thing is, did the government respond to what was going to be a disaster to the people of Kenya?
Sure.
Yes, they did. Then the rest is just, that's politics. You never avoid them.
Thank you. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you very much for having us here.
Well, that is their final say on that topic around, do you think the government did what they moved to reduce maize flour prices by 90 shillings? And that is so far the comments we're getting. Some in appreciation of it, whereas others are still questioning, asking, why did it take so long? Well, that's where we leave it at. My name is Abegina. It has been a pleasure bringing to you the day's business news, as well as having these interesting conversations that touch on very important aspects of our society. We want to wrap it up, and on behalf of the entire team here at the City Center Studios, we want to pave way for Joy Doreen Bira coming up next with Worldview, and I can see she is back. Good to see you, Joy. Looking forward to interacting with you as well as our viewers. Well, from me, it's a wrap, and we wish you a lovely weekend, and do keep it KT News.